Peace, peace, peace. What's good, people? You know, some of y'all know how my 2020 went. Had a rough year, man. In terms of life, in terms of relationships. I had a house fire. I've been looking for a home ever since. And was dealing with this woman, or this girl, I should say, who basically used me for my money and married someone else. And then I been running into some women that I found interesting, was interested in and found interesting, and then not so much. And then I just started observing some things. Let me say I love black women. I will be with a black woman or not, or I will die. It's only black women for me. Period. Gotta honor my mom, honor all those black women that have helped me in life. I love y'all. But I must say, I've noticed some things. I've written a book about brothers, so-called men, black men, and what they do, called Dating Games A Brother Speaks Up. I may re-release it, maybe so, maybe not. Need some editing, need some updating. But I've noticed, as I have kind of tipped my toe back into the waters of possibly wanting to date again, I noticed that with women, sisters, women in general, black women in particular, that it just seems like the values that I run into, or that I see most of the time, don't not only not match minds, but they seem to be corrupted. I run into sisters online, for the most part, since it's Corona. It's almost always some sort of transactional thing. It's always like, well, what do you do? Where do you live? How much money do you have? How tall are you? All these sorts of things on the one hand. Then on the other, all these empowered, self-empowered women posted millions of pictures, videos, I notice it's the same running themes coming through it. I love myself. I'm an independent woman. But yet, they posted millions of selfies, and they are longing for likes, or longing for compliments, or longing for their egos to be massaged. That's one set of sisters. Then you got another set of sisters. I think my brother commented on my post today about women that weaponize victimhood. Like I posted about women that say they're witches, and I basically say they just changed the W. They put the W in instead of B because they use this veneer and use these terms to really block out and scare people away from them as a defense mechanism, weaponizing victimhood. And I never really thought about that, and then I noticed that there's another set of women that are really seem to have it together online. They really seem to be healthy and whole. but then behind the curtain is something else. And then you actually have the other women that are single that don't settle, that aren't going to settle for the BS. And I salute y'all. And related to these women are these women that are in relationships, that are married, that are happy, healthy, working through whatever they need to work through. I salute y'all as well. So I feel the good women are taken, and those that aren't taken, the good women. And when I say good, I mean healthy, whole, growing, working through their stuff, going for what they want in life. Those women just aren't settling because they see through a lot of these men that aren't healthy, that aren't growing, that aren't evolving. I salute y'all single women. Would love to meet one of y'all, even if it's just to talk for business, or to talk about community, or to talk about growth, development, music appreciation, art, all of that stuff. Eventually I want a wife, but a friend is beautiful. But I noticed like running through a lot of people, and I'm not just trying to pick on women or whatever, but I only date women. I'm only interested in women. I'm heterosexual, and that's what I'm looking for, a black woman. But I noticed there's a lot of women that kind of hide behind, if they're not hiding behind their careers, they're hiding behind their hurt and pain. And when I say hiding behind it, I'm saying they use that, but they're not really working on themselves. They aren't really reading books. They aren't really doing the shadow work. A lot of them, I don't want to say a lot. This is my conspiracy theory. I think some women post all these pictures and want all this attention because, first of all, they lack self-esteem. Why do you need outdoor adoration, and likes in order to feel whole or to feel attractive or whatever? But I feel like some of these women are just waiting for a celebrity or a baller to DM them, or somebody with money. And don't get me wrong, money is important, very important. Job is important. Career is important. Entrepreneurship is important. What you want to do with your life is important. All those things are super important. No woman should be with a man that ain't trying to better himself. Period. And you can tell a lot about a man by what he's read and what he listens to in terms of music and the things that he believes and his values. I ain't making excuses for men. I'll maybe do another video to talk about some of these bums out here too. I hate them. I wrote a book about that. My mom married one, and she died as a result from a broken heart. The last 23 years of her life, I don't want to say wasted, but yeah, kind of wasted on a man that didn't even love himself. So I got smoke for them and all the F-boys out there. But I find these women, they're not looking for a man that shares their values. They just want a man, like a lot of times they want a man that agrees with them, and someone that makes them feel good, and someone that massages their ego. And I know there's men like this as well. I'm going to talk about these so-called men as well. They're not even men, they're males. But a lot of these women want their egos massaged. They're looking for a daddy figure. They haven't dealt with their pain, their past pain, for whatever reason. And it's tiring, man. I'm not fixing to go outside of the race to find a woman. And there's a lot of beautiful women that aren't black. If racism never existed and white supremacy and slavery never existed, I don't know. So I might be with one, But the reality that I live in, and to respect my mom and to respect all the black women that helped me in life, I'm sticking with a sister. But, I'm finding a lot of character flaws in the women that I'm running across. And I know I'm not the only one. And this isn't to say all or even most black women. But too many are out here. They talk a good game. They talk a real good game, but they aren't consistent. They'll find a man that they find is funny, that they agree with on a lot of issues. They'll find a man that may even find attractive, but for some reason they'll find an excuse and hide. And I'm not just talking about myself. I've talked to many brothers this, and that's okay, because if you don't want a brother that makes you laugh, that you share values with, that you can grow with, that's fine. But when you come back and then say there are no good men, or then you end up with the Pookie and Ray Ray, what does that say? Why? Because he's tall, because he's dark and handsome, because he has money, yet he disrespects you, he cheats on you, he either physically abuses you or more often emotionally abuses you. He's a narcissist, and I seen this in my stepfather, who passed away a few months ago. You know, like I say, I got some smoke for them, for this type of man, the F-boy, F-U-C-K boy. But I'm finding that a lot of women talk a good game, but they aren't really on the path to growth. They aren't really looking for men that they share values with. Very transactional, you know? They haven't worked out their issues. And y'all think it's so easy for us men out here? It's not easy for us out here. Those of us that are looking for a woman that shares values, that wants a family as well, that's a whole nother issue. That don't have children, or at least wants to have more children. I'm one of those brothers that doesn't have children, wants to have children. And I don't know, it's just some things now that I'm really starting to really figure out. And I'm a special brother, not 6 bus seat short bus special, but I'm special because I'm working on myself. I'm a child of God, just like you're a child of God if you're watching this. But, you know, a special brother is looking for a special woman. Super duper hard to find. Someone that actually listens, you know, and someone that actually pays attention. And I love this sister. I'm not even going to say her name. If she's watching this, no disrespect to you at all. I told you I was going to say this, but I remember I was in a conversation talking to this sister about my mom's, and, you know, how she was abused, stuff she went through, and how she died. And like in the middle of I'm explaining my situation, she asked me to go on the website to listen to her music. And it was at that point where I was like, what's going on? It was at that point where I realized, yeah, I'm interested. I was interested. But that kind of told me right there, you know, maybe I need to look at people I find interesting. Or better yet, maybe I need to make sure that it's mutual interest. And I didn't really have any plans beyond being this sister's friends, and we still friends. But I've noticed that. Same thing with another sister. I won't even say the capacity that I know her in, but I remember telling her about my situation, my mom's situation, after listening to a little bit of hers, you know, and her sharing what she shared. And I noticed like the response or lack of response. I didn't really even get any response from her. Like she was listening, but like didn't really care, you know. And so I lost interest, automatic interest. She kept saying how she was single. She kept saying how this and that, you know, oh, I'm single. Like, okay, so why are you telling me? That's nice, but, you know, I've had people come in my inbox telling me they're single, they don't have children, this and that. So I'm thinking, hey, you liking my picture? You like all my posts? You think I'm funny? You think I'm a little attractive? But, you know, you're not trying to give me no play, so why? I don't need to know personal information about you like that. You're playing games. And life is short. Time is finite. It's not infinite. That's what you sisters need to understand. You know, y'all up here shading dudes, or hitting dudes up when you're trying to sell Bitcoin, or you trying to start a business, or you want support. I even had this sister from Ghana on here. I thought she was attractive. I told her so. Thought she was cool. She was a nurse, and she was trying to sell these bags, right? And I was like, look, I said, look, I can put you on my YouTube channel. I can interview you, and you could talk about your profession, and you can also or talk about your bags. And she commences to try to sell me the bag after telling me if she's not interested in doing an interview or promoting her bag or even having her bag on my social media. Yet she's trying to sell me a bag. I'm just like, even from a business standpoint, what are you doing? It's that young, you're over 30 energy, but you're still acting like you're a teen in your 20s. So one thing I don't agree with is this big misconception is that women develop faster than men, or mature faster than men, and I don't think that's the case. I think women and men mature in different ways, but not a lot of people are really trying to become better people. They're not really trying to develop. They're not trying to become relationship literate. That goes for men and women. Like I say, I'm gonna keep saying, I got smoke for the men as well. But I see this and I'm very, very frustrated. I consider myself a good man because I'm not led by my penis. I'm not led by my ego. I work hard. I care about black women. I care about the black community. I care about all humanity. I sacrifice tremendously for people that don't even share blood with. I made a lot of sacrifices for the movement. I'm a good man. I work, tell the truth, and I'm always trying to be a better person. Well-rounded. But I'm not the only brother like this that still finds himself single, still finds himself caught in this bag where sisters are like judging all men consciously or subconsciously based on what Pookie and Ray Ray did. Trying to be, trying to like keep everybody out because they haven't dealt with their own pain. Why haven't you dealt with it? Why haven't you realized that everything that you've gone through that's negative was a lesson and a blessing? A blessing and a lesson, or a blessing and a lesson. You learn from everything that you've gone through and you keep moving on. After I dealt with the African girl, I've spent thousands of dollars on, only for her to end up being married to somebody else. Was still asking me for rent till I found out through her sister, inadvertently through her sister. But now, am I mad at all African women? No. I just thought that African women had a different set of values, and that they were, different. And maybe they weren't as colonized as the black women here. But now I see that that's not necessarily true. People are people no matter where they are. And your level of colonization doesn't depend on where you are. Because white supremacy and these Anglo-Euro values permeate a lot of our culture, black African culture, worldwide. But I'm not mad, I'm not bitter. I put over a year into that. I'm not mad. I'm not saying I'll never date another African girl, or I'm not swearing off all black women. I'm not calling all black women this and that. I'm not saying all, I'm not even saying most. I'm just saying too many. And I'm going to stick with y'all regardless. I'm going to just ride this thing out with black women. But I noticed some of the inconsistencies and some of the hypocrisies. And that's why a lot of people agree with Kevin Samuels, because he speaks on a lot of truth. Overall, though, I don't agree with him. Steve Harvey either. Derek Jackson, definitely not. So anyway, I wanted to get all this off my chest today, man, because I just noticed some things, I just noticed the lack of growth in our sisters, too many of our sisters. And I also kind of noticed as well as it relates to COVID and other things, how people are still thinking in 2020 about COVID. And I was the same way. Thought it was a conspiracy, thought it was media, thought it was whatever. Then I just started studying, started reading, and you grow. It's not 2020. Nobody's talking about freaking 5G being connected to coronavirus anymore. Why not? Because the research has come out showing that it's not. But that's a whole nother topic that I'll discuss another time. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna put this on my different social media platforms. I'll put it on my Facebook and my Instagram and my YouTube channel. Understand, in closing, black woman, I love you. I'm looking for, all I need is one. But understand that it's not just me going through this. Deal with your issues. Kick these F-boys to the side. I don't care how good their sex is or how much money they got or how many children you got with them. You deserve better. We all deserve better. Understand that I love you. I love you all the way. Get the help that you need to get. But deal with your issues. We all dealing with our issues. You know, and let's keep it real. Online and off. And I don't see a lot of that. I don't see enough of that. Too many selfies and not enough self-love. Too many people saying they're living their best life, but aren't even striving to be their best person. Be the best person they can be. Anyway, that's all I want to say for now. I know it's a long video. I hope y'all watch. I know I love y'all. And understand, every queen deserves a king. Every king deserves a queen. And we all we got as black people in this world. And people of the African diaspora. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a good day. Peace.